through the process. Start simple, go more complex. Most operational models, chapter 2 discusses one static model, and then 11 gets into something continuous, and combined, discrete, continuous models we'll look at. Now, simulation by hand, in 1733 or thereabouts is when we started estimating pi by simulation. Right? He tossed a needle of length L onto a table with stripes D width apart, where D was greater than L, so the needle could fit in between. Right? And then the probability that the needle crosses a line is 2L over pi D. He did that, a lot of times. He threw it thousands of times and checked out when it crossed the line and when it didn't, and estimated that p hat, which then gave him the estimate of what pi was. Who wants that time? I'm going to stand there all day for however many days, and I'm going to throw a needle to see if it stays across the line. And then I'm going to change the length of the needle, and I'm going to go do it again. Do it. Well, it seems silly now, but has important simulation features. An experiment estimates something. It's got randomness, because I guarantee you did not throw that needle exactly the same, with the same force, with the same release every single time. Anybody play darts? Do you hit the bullseye or the triple 20 every time? No. It's because we all have variation in how we do it. Replication, the more the better, to reduce the error. Sequential sampling to control error. You keep tossing into a probable error and estimate is small enough. So now, computers to simulate. General purpose languages. C, C++, C#, Java. Everybody's favorite, MATLAB. Python, which they're actually switching to some from MATLAB. So 107 is now getting Python, I think, rather than, or Python and MATLAB rather than just MATLAB. Tedious, low level, error prone, but almost complete flexibility. If you can figure out how to code it, you can do it. Support packages for general purpose languages. So it's all the modules you can buy from MATLAB. Somebody's figured out how to do something already, and they put them in so that you don't have to recreate the wheel. It's your libraries that you can pull into, things like that. Right? Spreadsheets, usually static models or only very simple dynamic models. Financial scenarios, distribution sampling, or SQC. It's good for calculating your control charts. You can get add-ins available at risk. I don't know what that one does. Crystal Ball does reports for you. In fact, Arena used to use Crystal Ball, their reports. Starting with this version, they've gone back to Excel. Simulation languages. GPSS, SLX, Simon, they left SLAM out. SLAM was in between GPSS and Simon. In fact, Simulation Modeling Inc. got sued for copyright violation for SLAM because SLAM said that they copied too much of it. Courts voted differently, said it was different enough that it didn't break copyright violation. So Simon still exists, SLAM does not. Arena, like I said, is based on Simon. Popular, some are still in use. Learning curve for the features, which is why I do a specific software rather than saying I'm going to teach you how to model and you pick your software, because then everybody would be on a different software, and I frankly don't know all of those. If you've learned one, it's not as difficult to learn another. especially between Arena and Pro Model. It's a little more difficult to go to Simeo. It's a little more difficult to go to FlexSim. FlexSim has gotten a lot better because it used to be the computing power required for FlexSim. Almost nobody had. These would not have run it. They've gotten better at that. High-level simulators, easy and graphical interface. Arena's drag and drop, like I said. It's got a good GUI interface. Some of them are domain restricted, so they only work for manufacturing, they only work for communications, they only work for mining, etc. And limited flexibility. It's becoming a standard tool. Everybody is using it because they see the cost savings. Even at 25 grand a license, there's a cost savings that they're generating. You can get real-time control capabilities. So they're actually taking the data as it's collected from their measurement system, updating what they think the distribution is, and updating the model all in real time, right? To see where they think they are or where they need improvements. 3D graphics has gotten better. Integration with other applications. How many of you know Visio? Have seen Visio? Arena will actually import your Visio flowchart straight into Arena for you to then to be able to modify it as an Arena model. All you have to then do is go in and put in the information. So if you've got it in Visio as a flow process chart, you've at least got the initial stages of an Arena model where you can pull it in. You may have to do some other modifications. The overall process flow is there already, and you can just import it. Network sharing of data, internet-enabled distributed modeling, and right on. It's reusable. I can make a small change. Automated statistical design and analysis. Now, it cannot give accurate results if your data is not accurate. Like I said, garbage in, garbage out. Cannot describe system characteristics that have not been explicitly modeled. So if I want to know the impact of my changeover times from one model to the, one product to the other, if I don't include that in my simulation model, I can't get information on it. Cannot solve problems. It only gives you information. It can tell you where the problem may be, but it's not going to solve the problem for you. And it does not always provide easy answers to complex problems. So now we know what a simulation model is and what simulation is. So some fundamental concepts. We know what it is. Now we start learning how we do it. Some concepts behind it. Like I said, we're looking at Arena only. We're going to give an example of a simple processing system. See how we do it in the spreadsheet and then overview of it. So, simple processing system. Nice and easy. We've got arriving blank parts. We've got a queue. Anyone know what FIFO is? First in, first out. Arena will let you do